through your midday slump and or how to get energized really at any point where you're feeling either a lack of energy or you're feeling down or you just need to reset, right? So yeah, this could mean like it's 2 o'clock and you're like, I don't want to do anything right now. I'm tired. I would rather be on the couch watching Love Island, right? But it also might be I'm supposed to, I have plans with my girlfriends to go out tonight and I'm just in a fucking crabby mood. And I need to turn this around. It really is just at any point when you need to quickly revitalize and re-energize yourself. So I have a couple tips that I'm going to walk through. Some of these are things that help me a lot of the time. Some of these are things that just help me sometimes. Some of these are things that I don't really do a lot. I have, let's see here on this piece of paper or this computer of notes in front of me, I have 19 tips. 19. Some of these they're all going to take me approximately 1 minute to cover. I promise this won't be like Jackie talks for 10 hours about 10 million things. But some of these might be things that you've never even thought of to wake yourself up and give yourself energy. Some of these are like, you've probably heard me say these 100 times. And then everything in between. Oh, actually, it's not 19 tips. I take that back. Some of these are like subcategories of the tips. So what I'm going to have you guys do is, okay, so I take it back. We have 16 tips. So what I'm going to have you guys do is raise your hand if you have an idea of something that will bring energy during the day when you need it, when you're slow and you're lacking energy. If you have an idea of one thing. All right, Corey, I'm having you share one thing.
Drink coffee.
When?
That's what I do. I have like a 4 p.m. like cappuccino or something.
Yeah.
And I like don't stay up all night if I do something like that. So I do it.
Okay, cool. So would recommend watching, there's a video somewhere in the shares, or it's either in the shares or it's in the announcements, and either or. There's a quick little YouTube video. So whether you think it does keep you up or at night or not, maybe it doesn't keep you up, but it definitely for sure 100% without a doubt impacts your ability to get deep quality sleep. Like you might sleep fine, and people like James is the same way. He could have a Diet Coke at like 8 p.m. and be like, I'm fine, and fall asleep fine, because some people just fall asleep easier than others. But it still does impact your deep sleep quality. So what I would recommend is for anybody that's going to use caffeine as your pick-me-up, to come up with a caffeine cutoff time. And this is going to be different for everybody because yes, caffeine stays in your body for some people a little bit longer than others, and it impacts everybody's ability a little bit differently. If you've not watched the deep sleep training, it was actually just a one-on-one with me and Kara over the summer. But if you have not, whether you're watching this on replay or not, if you have not yet watched the deep sleep training, I would highly recommend that, because I kind of talk about the biochemistry of what's happening in your brain when you have caffeine, and what's happening in your brain when you say you're building a tolerance to caffeine. When you're building a tolerance to caffeine, that basically just means your brain is creating more adenosine receptors. So when the caffeine, like when it binds, your body creates more adenosine receptors because it wants to get tired, and it builds more. Watch that video because I go into that in depth as to why caffeine keeps you up at night and why you build a tolerance to caffeine, right? So go check that one out. However, we'll start there. Caffeine. I'm going to say caffeine and water, right? If you are not drinking the right amount of water, you'd be pleasantly surprised of what drinking the right amount of water can do. When I am on it, and which is most of the time with my hydration, 90 to 120, 130 ounces a day, I'm like ping, 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 ping. Like water energizes me because it's hydrating me. It's making my body happy. It's making my insides, my organs, my cells, my everything happy and hydrated. So coffee, yes. Tea, yes. Herbal tea, yes. Like drinking something, if it's going to be caffeine, that's a no-brainer. Obviously caffeine's going to wake you up, but hydration is like I put literally caffeine dash or hydration. Sometimes you don't need a coffee. Sometimes you just need water. So don't mind me crushing water this entire call. On travel days, I don't drink. I usually choose to drink. I stop drinking water like 2 hours before we get in the car, and then I don't drink in the car. So because I don't like to stop to pee. So don't mind me crushing this because we just got home like a half hour ago. But what I was going to say for caffeine though is come up with a cutoff time. My cutoff time while I was in college was 4 p.m. My cutoff time now is 2 p.m. I'm not drinking caffeine right now, but I would suggest coming up with a cutoff time that's like, I don't drink caffeine after this time, and just really, really, really relying on water as a source of energy. It does wonders. If it's 3 p.m. and you're just like, you know what, I'm going to start crushing my water. Not only that, but you also get breaks to get up and move and go to the bathroom and to refresh yourself. All right. So caffeine and hydration, those should really be two separate ones, but kind of combine them into one there. So who's got another idea? Megan, you are raising your hand.
Get your body moving.
Yes, boom. That is a massive one. And we're going to cover again, like I said, a couple different like subcategories of movement, but this can be any fucking thing. But movement is medicine. Movement is medicine. Say one more time. Movement is medicine. Movement is amazing for your body. Now, this can take any shape or form. This can take the form of going. So for me, I'm like, I'd rather go out for an hour-long walk kind of gal. And James is like, I'd rather just go out for like several 10-minute walks throughout the day kind of guy. I'm always like, James, come with me for a long walk. And he's always like, I don't, we really bash heads there. But movement of any type, whether that's going for a walk or whether that's instituting some kind of like rule for yourself, tomorrow, every single time I get up to go to the bathroom, before I sit my ass back down, I'm going to do 10 push-ups. Or every time I pick up my phone, Corey, this could be one that you do because I know you're working on cell phone boundaries right now. Every time I pick up my phone, I do my thing. When I'm done, I have to do 100 jumping jacks, right? Or maybe you want to do vice versa. Before I look at my Instagram, I'm going to do 100 jumping jacks. Before I check my email, I'm going to do 100 jumping jacks. Maybe it's every time I find myself getting distracted, I make myself do 10 push-ups and then get back to work. Maybe there's a PN exercise actually that's like every time I feel myself talking bad about myself. I don't know if you guys have had that lesson, but it's every time I feel myself talking bad about myself. It's called like positive boot camp or something where they have you do it's like 5 push-ups a day every time you're talking bad about yourself. So pairing something, right? Or just when you are feeling that drag, when you are feeling down, when you are feeling low energy, popping up for 15 jumping jacks, 20 jumping jacks, 100 jumping jacks, 5 push-ups, whatever it is, going outside for a walk, just getting some kind of movement. Maybe it's stretching, maybe it's mobility work. Mobility work is wonderful. It does wonders for the body. That way, when you're 80, like you can still reach your head up over your hands without pressing your back down. That way you can still touch your toes. That way you can still, if you're falling off a sidewalk and your ankle bends, like it's pliable and it bends instead of snaps, right? So any kind of movement, maybe you just want to get up and like shake your body, whatever you want to do, like that kind of stuff will wake you up. And just make sure you're breathing with the movement, because breath work is medicine. Breath is healing. So bringing in, movement and breath into your day. So that is tip number 2. Move your body, go for walks, whatever you need to do to just move your body throughout the day, pairing it with something so that you never get to that tired point, or when you do get to that tired point, just being like, cool, I'm going to stand up and just like do 10 burpees and get back to it. Okay. All right, who else has ideas?
Listen to music.
Boom, music. So find music that energizes you. And this is something like I will take 10 minutes out of your one-on-one call to help you find music that energizes you or music that works for you. Because this one for me is one that really, really hits home. And when we're done going over this, I'll tell you guys like my personal go-to routine that I most of the time, I usually only go to when I'm like pre-periody because I get pretty in the past, I've gotten pretty intense pre-period. Like I'm worse before my period than when I'm on my period. Before I get my period, I'm like, no amount of caffeine, no amount of sleep can save me. So I have like my go-to routine that kind of wakes me up, and I'll share that with you guys after. But music. When you're maybe like you need to listen to some like orchestra symphony on steroids with no music. And that like Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack. You guys, if you have to actually do hardcore work, like you're not just like shit doing like busy work, hardcore work, Pirates of the Caribbean. Are you kidding me? I used to write papers in college to this shit. I'd be like, dun, 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 in the library, like jamming, sipping my tea. I'd have like 6 tea bags in a mug listening to Pirates of the Caribbean. So you can go the not like I know a lot of people in like the high performance space will teach and preach music with no lyrics because it's less distracting. So for me, it really depends what I'm doing. If I'm doing anything that involves reading or writing, I have to do non-lyric music. Whether that's acoustic, I have like just acoustic guitar with no lyrics. I've got that playlist downloaded on my Spotify. I do have like classical stuff downloaded. I have one of my dear friends who teaches breath work and like she teaches like sexy dancing. um she shared her good vibrations playlist with me, and that's just like a bunch of like far-fetched like sexy dancing music, but it's like musical, if that makes sense. So whatever it is that floats your fucking boat. Now I also, again, if it means like us like literally getting on Spotify, I will share my playlist with you. I've shared my playlists with Claire and Lindsay, I think, maybe a couple others here and there. I have about 20 playlists that are I wish I had it up, I would read it to you, but it's like mood boost or bust, mood boost 2.0, mood boost 3.0, good vibes 2.0, good vibes 3.0, like bust a move 1.0, bust a move 2.0. I have like some good ass playlists, you guys, and that's when I'm doing busy work. That's when I'm just like when I'm making new workout programs for people, I can listen to that kind of music. And that kind of music, like Tuesday, I was in the best fucking mood Tuesday, and I was in trainer eyes all day making workouts, but it was the music. I was listening to like Mood Bust 5.0 or whatever it is. And I was just having the best fucking time because of the music, right? I was singing out loud. I had the door shut. James was in here and I was jamming and I had energy from that. So, music of any genre, you might need a couple for different scenarios, a couple for different things that you're doing. But music is an absolutely amazing way to get your energy up for whether it's mindless work or mindful work. It just might be a different genre of music for each. So that is definitely one technique. So any other ideas?
Maybe eat a snack. I don't know.
I don't have that one on here, but I don't have that one on here, but that's definitely a good idea. I have take a break. So we can kind of pair that together. Probably, you guys know I'm insane and I work like 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. I would say maybe 4 days a week. I watch Love Island for my lunch break because it lets me slow down. It lets me take a break. So taking a break, whether that's fueling through food, fueling through a healthy snack or something, of course, but taking a motherfucking break. Like, are you actually and genuinely taking breaks throughout your day? 2 hours on, 20 minutes off, 2 hours on, 20 minutes off. Maybe it's 50 minutes. And this is going to be something that's so different. So different for everybody, because it's really going to depend on your attention span. Maybe this is 3 hours on, 1 off, 3 hours on, 1 off. Maybe this is 50 on, 10 off, 50 on, 10 off. Maybe you do that 3 times in a row and then you take a longer break. But actually genuinely scheduling in time for breaks, deciding whether it's just like you listen to your body and you're like, holy shit, I'm melting, I need a break, or holy shit, I'm getting too angsty or agitated, I need a break, or whatever it is. Actually allowing yourself time to take breaks, whether that's watching TV. Again, movement can be a break. You know, whatever that break is for you, actually allowing it and being okay with it. I used to feel so bad if I threw something on the TV over my breaks, my like lunch break. I feel so guilty, and I don't feel guilty anymore, because I'm like, I can't expect myself to work from 10 a.m. until 8:30 p.m. without a break. I just can't, right? So I embrace a dinner break with James. I embrace a lunch break with reality TV. Like, I embrace those breaks, and I also work for myself, so I have the beauty of and all 3 of you here have the flexibility, actually. But if you're watching this replay, figuring out how to get that flexibility, you all have it, of just like, if I want to take a break right now, I can take a break right now, you know? So listening to yourself and allowing that, and eating food if you want to eat food on that break. All right, awesome. What other ideas?
Go outside. Fresh air.
Yes. Love that one. That wasn't on my list either. So we're adding that one. We're adding fresh air, and we're adding food to my list. Yeah, going outside and moving, or just stepping outside into the sunlight, your body, again, speaking of the deep sleep training, go back and watch that. We need vitamin D. I mean, you all know that, but vitamin D plays a really strong role in your sleep, because it regulates your circadian rhythm. When you go outside in the morning, your body's like, hey, it's morning time, I need to wake up. When you go outside at 2 in the afternoon, hey, it's still 2 in the afternoon, I need to be awake right now. Getting that sunshine is going to help your body regulate its sleep, because naturally, if you go outside at 8 p.m., there's no sunshine. Your body's going to be like, cool, it's actually time for me to start to unwind down. So allowing vitamin D and natural sunlight to help you regulate. So just going outside. And another thing is, if you are going outside with the intention of getting sunlight, do as much as you can to expose. I know it's in the winter, but like Megan, it's pretty warm there still, right? So doing what you can to expose as much skin as you can. So instead of like, oh God, it's 70 degrees in Texas today, like hiding from everything, just be like, all right, I might be a little bit chilly, but like, I'm going to embrace this vitamin D and this sunlight to help me wake up. And stepping outside. So there's a couple of these are all going to be overlapping, right? So going outside to take a break. To Megan, go outside and play with your kids. That's a break, but getting, taking advantage of movement and a break and the sunshine, right? Also going outside, eating your lunch outside, going outside, listening to music outside for a little bit. So a lot of these are going to be overlapping. But yes, going outside is a great one. You guys are helping me get some ideas. Cool. What else? Why don't we do one more share from you guys, and then I'll rock and roll through this list.
I don't know, clean.
Yeah. I mean, so one that is on this list is switch up your environment.
Yeah.
So if you've been at home all day and it's a fucking stale environment, clean your space, right? That is something that Megan and Kara, you guys were in the morning group, right? My 2 morning changes are, 1 is meditate, 2 is clean up my space, declutter my space. I cannot fucking work in a cluttered space. I can't. ignore the clothes on the bed. I like was in the middle of unpacking when it was 6 o'clock. So declutter your space or switch up your environment. And you all also know I'm big on having spaces for different things, right? Like your bed is for sleeping and for sex. It is not for being on your phone. It is not for eating. If James were here, he'd hear me say this, but it's not for working. Don't do your fucking work in your bed. Right now, we don't have an option. We have to be in 2 different rooms, but switch up your environment. If there's no COVID, more cases aren't low where you are high where you are, go to a coffee shop. If you usually are working at the desk, but the desk is stale, move to the kitchen, declutter it. But switch up your environment, declutter your environment, or make your environment, like for me, sometimes I'm not a huge candle girl, but sometimes if I just light a candle on my desk, it helps me just like calm myself and focus myself. So switching up your environment is another great idea, and whatever that looks like for you, but just making sure you're aware of what spaces are for what purposes and trying not to overlap and mush those spaces up. All right, so let's rock and roll through the rest of these here. And then I'll share with you guys what my kind of, what my kind of thing is. So number 1 on the rest of this list, nap. Why the fuck not, right? I'm not a huge fan of naps, because for me, and I know that there's going to be studies that there is power in a short naps. There's power in a 10-minute nap. There's power in a 20-minute nap. There's power in just closing your eyes. Oh, James is walking home from Midtown and he just texted me that he needs to poop. I love him so much. Thank you. I turned that on silent, so that won't happen again. Naps. Yes, naps. I'm of the variety of gal. If I'm napping, I'm all in. If I'm napping, like I'm in my jammies, I've got my eye mask on, lights are off, I'm under the covers, I'm sleeping for an hour to 2 hours. If it's a real dark day, 3 hours. But an hour to 2 hours, right? So naps, everyone's going to kind of have their flavor. I don't nap very often. I maybe nap once every 3 months, if even 4 months. But if you need to fucking nap, take a nap. Like if you're the night before, your sleep was just absolute trash and you're just dragging and dragging and dragging and dragging, napping is okay, right? There's tons of studies that the importance of like the regeneration that happens in your brain even when you blink, right? So just by closing your eyes for 10 minutes, even if you're not intending to go to sleep, that's going to help your brain recover and regenerate. I actually have an article on that I can send you guys. Really cool article. An article. The science of downtime. I'll send that out to you, ladies. But napping or just closing, it doesn't have to be a full 3 hours. You're in bed, you're in your jammies, phone's down on silent. But if you need that, take that. If you need 20 minutes, take 20 minutes. If you need 10 minutes, take 10 minutes. And if you do fall asleep, great, fine. Your body needed it. Allowing that recovery and regeneration through napping or just simply closing your eyes. The next thing on here is to shower, right? Sometimes you just, so I'll kind of combine these: shower, freshen up, brush your teeth, get dressed. This is one of my all-time go-tos. I'll share with you guys my routine. But this is one of my all-time go-tos because I work like this. I'm sorry. I'm not like your classic, like Insta famous fit bitch who's always like looking stunning and flawless with like makeup on and she's got her eyebrows done just to do her work on her computer and show her face on Instagram. Like I literally work in my pajamas more often than not. Sometimes I'll like literally put a sweatshirt on that like looks nicer than other sweatshirts for a quick little Snapchat and or what a story, and I'll switch it up. But I work in jammies most of the time. There's absolutely no shame. However, if I'm feeling like a fucking bum, what really, truly, truly, truly helps me is to get in the shower, freshen up, like actually wash my hair, actually wash my face. I'll wash my face like 2 times. I have good like face wash that like makes your face feel cool. Maybe you're freshening up just means you do want to put makeup on, right? Sometimes I put makeup on and I'm like a new fucking woman. I'm like, yes, this is it. Look at me. I feel like a new woman. Sometimes that might just mean putting fresh deodorant on, a little spritz, and then brushing your teeth. Brushing your teeth is like the saving grace. I need to brush my teeth right now, actually, but freshening up, whether that means changing your clothes, whether that means going from sweatpants to leggings or leggings to jeans, whether that means redoing your makeup, like for me, also like these things, like it just feels so much better to have it up in a bobby pin. Such a minor thing, but whatever it means to you to freshen up, maybe it just means the whole nines, right? A whole shower, change of outfit, shave your legs, brush your teeth, pluck your eyebrows, whatever, right? Sometimes that, and then you sit back down to work and you're like, oh yes, I'm on it. And you're like ready to go, right? So freshening up is a beautiful option. To kind of help you feel rejuvenated in the middle of an afternoon. Literally no shame. We're all working from home right now. We know that sometimes like we're big bums and it's cool. But it does feel nice to be clean sometimes. Even if that means showering and putting your jammies back on, it still feels nice to be clean. So that is one that works. This one kind of combines movement and music, but having a motherfucking dance party. Maybe it's a small dance party. Maybe it's the dance party while you're working. Sometimes I'm literally like typing away, just jamming. I put my little headphones in and I'm jamming. Maybe that means standing up. Hey, Google. Oh, if I do that, she'll literally do that. Hey, Google, play Mood Boost. And she's like, playing Mood Boost. And she just like jams out to it. And I like have a little dance party. That'll just wake you up, right? Why not boost your endorphins? And then sit back down, continue to boost your endorphins again, depending on what you're moving on. But a dance party in the middle of the day, dance party by yourself, dance party with your friends, dance party in the shower, dance party while you're working, just dancing, moving your body. Maybe you want to, again, go outside, dance outside, whatever you need. But a dance party is a beautiful thing to get you revitalized. Any questions so far? Beautiful. Next one, affirmations or mission statement. Kara and Megan have been working on their mission statements. But let's just say you do affirmations in the morning, or you read you read your mission statement in the morning. It's okay to do them more than once a day if you need to, right? My mission statement for me is a very powerful statement. If I'm feeling like I don't want to work, it's the same thing as kind of like, I guess, affirmations, mission statement, or asking hard questions. Asking hard questions like, if you're slacking off and your career is really important to you, like, am I really the kind of person that has this work ethic? Am I really the kind of person that wants to be showing up with this energy while I'm working? Am I really the kind of person that wants to XYZ? Am I acting with integrity if I continue to XYZ, right? So asking hard questions can be a way, but affirmations can just help you get reacquainted. Like for me, I personally have like 15 affirmations just on my time management. I tell myself I'm in complete control of my time and in complete control of my outcomes. I am in complete control of my outcomes every single day. So I choose to take a deliberate, focused, efficient approach, right? If I start saying those things to myself, especially if I stand up and I'm getting like as excited as I am right now, like I, Jackie Geiser, am a productive person. I choose to focus while I'm working. I choose to focus on one thing. I choose to get one thing done at a time. I choose to slice and dice. I choose to focus and be deliberate, focused, and efficient with my time. I choose to be deliberate, focused, and efficient with my time. I choose to be deliberate, focused, and efficient with my time. You just stand up and you say that to yourself 10 times and you're just moving, right? And you're just like, I am productive. I am energized, right? The end of my mission statement is I choose to have a fucking energized and whatever it is. Jackie Geiser, choose to have a fucking energized and positive day today. Energized and productive day today. That's what I say at the end of my mission statement. I, Jackie Geiser, choose to have an extremely energized and productive day today. If I just stand up, who says that has to be just in the morning or just at the end of the day, right? Like, I have all those affirmations on productivity and time management for a reason. Why would I only access that tool in the morning if I can just stand up in the middle of the day and use those? So, reading your affirmations, listening to your affirmations, reading your mission statement, listening to your mission statement, writing it out, as well as asking yourself hard questions, which is going to lead me into this one is like a subcategory of affirmations, which I haven't taught a lot, but priming is where you repeat something to yourself with movement, right? So maybe the movement is beating your chest. I am productive and efficient. I'm productive and efficient. I'm productive and efficient. Maybe it's, I choose to feel energized. I choose to feel energized. Priming is repeating something to yourself by moving. Maybe you just want to pump one fist up in the air like, I love my work. I love my job. I love myself. I love my work. I love my job. I love, like, are you kidding me? Like, look how much energy I have right now just from doing that, right? I'm drinking my water. I'm moving my body. I'm saying positive thoughts to myself. All right, priming. Let's give a couple more examples. Maybe it's breathing, right? Whatever you want to fucking pull out of your ass. Maybe you find one that you really like. Maybe it's just, I am energized. I am energized, right? Like I look like a fucking buffoon. So obviously like close your door. Or if you don't give a fuck, right? I know two people that actually live in Texas. Megan, you should go hang out with them, but that do this no matter where the fuck they are. These are really fucking successful people. If they need to just get re-energized, like maybe it's, I am so excited to be working right now. I'm so excited to be working right now. Whatever it is, right? Just priming yourself through movement, through repetitive movement. Any of those, you're welcome to take any of those and take them home. Shut your door, leave the straight jacket on your chest, your bed in case people need to come in and they're like, what has happened to you? No, but priming through repetitive movement. The next one that I'm going to subcategorize of movement, right? Because we've talked about your classics, like do some push-ups, go for a walk, dance. Like those are your basics. You can also use any of these as your morning routine to set the tone for the day. So priming is speaking a repetitive thought to yourself with repetitive movement. Somatic shakes. Kara and I talked about this the other day. Somatic shakes is you can take, a similar approach. Somatic shakes just is literally shaking your body. And you're just going to be like, fuck procrastination. Fuck bad time management. Fuck procrastination. Fuck procrastination. Fuck lack of focus. I hate when I'm not focused and therefore I choose to be focused, right? Somatic shakes, waking your energy up, bringing the right dopamine to your body, bringing the right energy to your body, shifting your hormones, getting your heart rate up. Just shaking it, like literally just, maybe you want to shake your ass really, really fast, right? Like how much energy do I have right now, you guys? Like I was going to go for a walk with James after this. I don't even need to go for a walk now. I'm awake. So somatic shakes, shaking out, you guys can't see here. Let's give you the full effect. We're shaking it out down here. So somatic shakes is just shaking your body as a subcategory of movement. The next one is called cupping. I can't act like I'm a professional and really understand what cupping is. Literally just go to YouTube and type in cupping to wake up. I don't mean like going to the massage and getting like cupping on your back. Just choosing to pat. It's like literally you cup your hands and you pat your body. So patting your shoulder, right? This is something Brendan Bouchard teaches if you guys are actually in book club right now. So I'm just going to move down my arm. I'm going to pat my arm, pat my arm, pat my arm. I'm going to work my way back up. I'm going to cut my shoulder, cut my shoulder, cut my shoulder. And now I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to tap down, right? I'm bringing blood flow to the area, right? I'm bringing blood flow to my arms, bringing blood flow. Now I'm going to cut my hips. You can go down your leg. Guys can't see again, but I'm going down. Patting my legs. Right, so you just cup anywhere on your body, just cup your hands and just smack your body. Literally just, no, don't smack your face, that might hurt. But just literally like go down your entire arm and just pat your arm, pat your arm. Like if you guys just one of these 3 that I just taught you, if you're feeling tired this week and you do one of these and you don't feel energized, call me. I'll get you on FaceTime Live and I'll walk you through it. But cupping is literally just making a cup with your hands and patting your body, right? Patting your body. Maybe you want to cup your stomach. It's just going to bring blood flow to the area, get things moving and grooving. It's going to bring the heart rate up, right? Increase respiratory system, increase your circulatory system, increase your blood your temperature, increase your blood flow, right? You're just going to get things flowing, right? So that was, we did somatic shakes, we did priming, we did cupping. You guys are gonna think this one is ridiculous. The next one is, again, a subcategory of, yes, I'm taking my glasses off for this one. Subcategory of movement, face gymnastics. So all I'm gonna do is just move my face in the wild places that it's never been before. I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go to the side, to the side, to the side, face gymnastics. It's a real fucking thing. Just moving it, scrunching your face up and waking, like, you don't need fucking coffee. You can just be a lunatic. Quote of the year, you don't need coffee, you can just be a lunatic. So face gymnastics, just like stretch your face, scrunch your face, stretch your face, scrunch your face, stretch your face, scrunch your face, twist it, contort it, and do all kinds of weird things, and you're going to be super energized. If you do all 4 of those and then go outside and like yell, seriously, who needs coffee? All right. We've got a couple more on here and we'll probably finish right on time. Breath work. This one, again, breath work is a massive category. Like there are so many different types of breath work out there. There's the Wim Hof method, which is like essentially just drowning yourself in air. The Wim Hof method teaches you to just kind of breathe in and literally hold your breath as long as you can, because you're essentially increasing your lung capacity, which will make your breathing more effective. He has an app and you like literally set your breathing and you like press go and you time how long you can hold your breath. And you like literally try to hit PRs through holding your breath. So there's the Wim Hof method. There is breath scaling. Breath scaling is another thing that Brendan Burchard teaches. Clearly, I'm just like his biggest fan. Breath scaling is the concept of you kind of like, I really need a full mirror for this lesson today. But breath scaling, you kind of like stack your feet one in front and one in back. And you are essentially, you start really, 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 really slow. So when I move forward, obviously, if you are doing breath scaling, you wouldn't be talking, you would just be breathing. So I'm going to lean forward and breathe in. I'm going to lean forward or backwards and breathe out. I'm going to lean forwards. All right. So I'm going to do this without talking, but essentially, and I'm going to do it in 30 seconds. You can do this over the course of 1 minute, and then you get good at it and you build it to 2 minutes, and you get good at it and you build it to 3 minutes. But it's essentially taking long, as long as you can breaths, and then getting fast. So this is where the scale is. You get faster and you get faster and you get faster, and it's in through the nose, out through the mouth. You get faster, you get faster. You're at your fastest and you stay there as long as you can. And then you pull out of it slowly, right? So pulling back to, again, as long breaths as you can. And by the time you're done, you're going to be like awake as as an espresso shot. So I'll do a really quick one. I'll take my glasses off, right? I'll do a really quick one so you guys can see. But you would want it to last longer. So it's essentially, and you move your body with it. Okay. Close your eyes too. Actually, I'm going to close my eyes so I feel more comfortable. All right. So it's so you essentially do that over the course of like as long as you can span it out. Whew, you might get a little bit lightheaded. It might be a little bit hard at first, but it's basically just increasing your respiratory system and bringing oxygen to the body. Oxygenating the body is good. Okay. So with breath work, again, you've got Wim Hof method, you've got breath scaling, you've got breath holds. Again, YouTube breath work, and you'll find millions and millions of options. My nutritionist teaches this. She teaches breathe in for 4 seconds. So it's breathe in, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is a beautiful way of just calming but re-energizing, because you're focusing that breath and taking, right? There's a difference when you're just like sitting passively breathing. Like those are shallow breaths. A lot of people don't take good, full, effective breaths. And any category of breath work will teach you to breathe more effectively. Will teach you to breathe through the belly instead of the lungs, right? If you look at a baby and you watch a baby from the side, babies, this is my baby. Babies, you would see from the side, the profile, you'd see a baby's breathing through their belly, right? You see their belly coming out. And then through people sitting and hunching and compacting their ribs and raising stress as adults, we now breathe, right? When you breathe, you see your ribs come up as opposed to your belly fill out. But effective breathing is filling out through the belly. So another tactic is crocodile breathing. Crocodile breathing is actually a beautiful thing to do before working out, because it primes your body to get back into a primal pattern of breathing, which is expanding at the belly and at the lungs, as opposed to breathing. I can't show you guys right now, but breathing up, right? Like your lungs come up when you breathe if you were to watch an adult breathe from the side as opposed to out. Crocodile breathing, you're just going to want to lay on your stomach, whether you want your hands here, like on your chin or above you or off to the side. Crocodile breathing is basically as flat as you can get. You want to expand your torso, expand through the belly, push your belly into the ground. You want to try and feel your obliques come out because you're expanding, right? Feel your obliques come out. You want to feel your back, right? You want to feel your lungs don't just expand forward. Your lungs expand backwards, right? They're just the whole thing. Like if this is a lung, it expands. It doesn't just expand forward. It expands in all directions. So crocodile breathing is getting as flat to a surface, preferably laying down on your stomach as you can. And you try to expand all sides of your stomach when you inhale. And then you breathe absolutely every inch of air out that you can. And then you breathe in and you try and expand from all angles. And that's like, if you're ever doing barbell back squats, or you're going for PRs, or you're doing any kind of heavy lifting, or you're going out for a run, like prime your breathing and get your lungs back into the flow of expanding instead of just like coming up, right? Because we're so stressed and fucking anxious, we just breathe up. So crocodile breathing is a different technique, as well as any kind of counting for breath, right? Breathing in. Maybe you're breathing in for 8, breathing out, breathing in for 8, breathing out for 8, breathing in for 8, breathing out for 8. Any kind of scaling with counting. Some of that is also beautiful work to do before sleeping. I know we're talking about re-energizing yourself, but some counting breath work is really, really peaceful to help lower your nerves in a really, really quick and fast way, as well as breathing in Om. I'm actually I'm seeing if I can have someone come lead a call on this, but like one of the most fastest, quickest, effective ways to lower your stress is by activating your vagus nerve. So I know, again, we're talking about revitalizing and energizing, but at night, or if you're stressed during the day, breathing in fully, and then that Om that you see Buddhas do and yogis do, that Om is activating your vagus nerve. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on that, but breath work as a category, again, those are just some examples of breath work. You're gonna find 10 trillion fucking types of breath work. There's breath work that's just don't breathe through your nose, breathe in and out through the mouth. So breath work is a big way to re-energize yourself, but you can consult YouTube for that since I'm not a breath work specialist. Those are just some examples. If any of those stood out to you, just Google crocodile breathing or YouTube crocodile breathing or YouTube breath scaling, and see what you can come up with there. All right, we've got a couple more. Figure out your triggers. So when I say figure out your triggers, I mean figure out, like, of this entire list, once we're done with this list, figure out your go-tos, right? And not only that, figure out your go-tos, that way you can rely on those. But I was talking to Kara about this, right? Your routines that are your routines don't have to be your routines forever. They might get stale. And so you might have to be like, cool, for the month of December, I'm gonna somatic shake every afternoon instead of having a caffeine. Right, Kara? Um, looking at you. So figure out your triggers, figure out, and this is also a lesson. I don't know if any of you have had this in precision nutrition yet, but figuring out your triggers that can energize you. Maybe that trigger is like a go-to. I think Jamie posted a video to the group of like an old woman like deadlifting or squatting or something. Maybe that inspirational video is your go-to. I also have inspirational speeches Spotify playlist completely downloaded as well. Some of those are real fucking intense and cutthroat, but maybe that's a trigger for you. Maybe that's like, when I'm feeling down, this triggers me to get more up and running. Maybe it is a Megan got really into homemade juice, right? So maybe it's a homemade juice that's your trigger. Like, give me my celery juice and I'm set. Maybe it is like, for me, like Sagala, throw some Sagala on and I'm like, yeah, like I'm good, you know? So figure out what your triggers are, whatever those triggers are. And this should have probably been the last point that we said, but I don't know why I covered this one next. But just figuring out what are your like go-tos, right? It's the same thing. If some of you have heard me talk about happiness action game plan, like know ahead of time what fucking works. Try things until you know what works. Make a list of it, keep it somewhere, or just memorize it in your brain. Like, this is when I'm tired as shit, or when I'm down, or when I'm on my period, about to get my period, what are the go-to things? What are my triggers? Is there a YouTube video that just like sends me leaping through the universe because I believe in humankind again? Like, what are those triggers for you? A couple more on here. Call a friend. Call a friend that you haven't talked to in a while. You can combine things again. Call a friend, get outside, go for a walk. So you're combining all three things there. FaceTime a friend and have a meal. Again, like combine things, but calling a friend or calling a loved one, just, hey, I've got 10 minutes. I wanted to call and talk. Like, I always feel so good when my best friends from college or my best friends from high school, I talk to them, because I'm like, I never get to see you. So it just revitalizes me and re-energizes me to call friends, you know, and not have an hour-long chat, but have like a good 20-minute chat while I'm walking. I chatted with one of my friends whose birthday it is while I was unpacking today, and that gave me so much energy, because I was like, I love you. This feels really great. So calling a friend. We've got two more. Sex. If you can have a quickie in the middle of the day and that's going to re-energize you, why not? If you, I mean, that one's pretty straightforward, right? You might feel tired, you might feel energized, you might feel like you're just more awake, you might feel more alert, you might be like, maybe you just need to bust some energy out. But if you can have a quickie in the middle of the day, why not? It'll give you energy. Totally normal. If you're gonna go outside for a walk and that's not gonna do it, have sex. Cool. And then last one on here, pretty contrasting last two, meditation. Meditate, have sex, and then meditate. No. Um, Meditate. This is kind of the same concept. Like some types of breath work are meant to energize you, and some types of breath work are meant to de-stress you. There's also types of meditation that are meant to energize you. There's types of meditation that are meant to calm you down. So maybe that means going to YouTube or going to the Calm app or going to Headspace or whatever it is that you use and typing in meditations for energy, meditations for positivity, and using meditation as a way to revitalize and re-energize. So that is my list. We have, I'll just kind of reread them to you guys. We added on fresh air, which I should have thought of anyway. Fresh air, food for fuel, incorporating movement into your day regularly, or incorporating movement just when you need it, going out for walks, doing push-ups, that kind of thing, wall sits, whatever. Taking a nap if you need it, taking a shower, freshening up, brushing your teeth, getting dressed, whatever that looks like for you. Knowing what kind of music works for you in different scenarios will be also really helpful. Have a little dance party, caffeine, water, take a genuine mother freaking break. Affirmations, mission statements, asking yourself hard questions, priming through repetitive movement, somatic shakes, cupping, breath work. We gave some examples there for breath work, face gymnastics, meditation, figuring out your triggers, sex, and call a friend. So I'm going to open it up to you guys if you have questions or if you have other ideas that you thought of while I was doing this that you wanted to share. So are there any questions or things that you wanted to add to this list?
I think like smells, like essential oils, if you have like peppermint or something, or if there's like some aromatherapy around.
Peppermint oil.
Yeah.
Peppermint oil on your, like right here on your temples, peppermint oil across your chest right here or on your palms. We use that like it's candy when we're hungover. So peppermint oil, get the one that's cooling though. Magical. Love that, Megan.
Yeah.
Cool. Why don't we do one takeaway per person of something that either you've never heard of before, or you've never thought of as a way to rejuvenate yourself before that you're going to implement, or something that you do so, but you'd like to incorporate more of it. So we'll go Kara, Megan, Corey. So again, either something that you've never really thought of to energize yourself, or something that's kind of but you want to really hone it in.
I've never heard of cupping, and that sounds interesting to me. So I might try that along with the somatic shakes that you have suggested to me. Just so, in case my family didn't already know I belong in the nut house. Really, they can just hone that in.
Implement that idea.
Yes.
I'd like to see if you incorporate somatic shakes. I'd like to see a video, please.
Okay, I can do that for you.
Mandatory.
I can do that.
All right. Cupping and somatic shakes. I love that. Megan.
I was going to say the somatic shakes too. Yes, maybe I can get my whole family involved. The kids can do it too in the middle of their school day. We can all just start shaking.
Yeah, I love that so much. And you know what? Actually, this isn't something that I put on here, but that just reminded me of clapping. If you are with a group of people, breaking out into random applause is, I'm not kidding you, breaking out into random applause is fucking amazing. People just start laughing and you're just like, what are we doing? But like, okay. Like if you just break out, there was my freshman seminar in college. My professor taught me this, and she challenged us all over Thanksgiving break, actually my freshman year, to break out at one point over Thanksgiving, back when groups were a thing, to break out into a random applause and we all had the challenge and we had to report back, and freshman seminars just a joke. I took mine on AIDS. You literally got to pick any topic that you wanted. And so I did it at the Thanksgiving table my freshman year of college. In the middle of nowhere, I just started clapping, and a minute later everybody in the room was clapping the whole Thanksgiving table, and we were all just laughing, and we were just celebrating life by clapping. So Megan, clapping, dancing, celebrating, shaking, it just brings energy to a room that is lacking so often. So I love that. All right, Corey.
I think so. I've thought about doing breathing, but I have never actually like really implemented it. I think as like a re-energizing thing. Like I've used it as more of like a calming thing, but I think trying like maybe the scaling thing like you showed us would be interesting to try to use it as like a reinvigorating thing.
Yes, I say this because I care about you. It'll be really hard at first. You kind of get like your nose will burn the first few times you do it, if that makes sense, because you're just, your body's like, when you get up to the peak of the scale, like that, like that can be really hard for a lot of people, and it might burn your nostril. So if it's a short one, if it only lasts a minute and a half to 2 minutes, no big deal. But when you finish, you'll be like, whoo, on fire, like it'll be good. All right. So Kara's going to try somatic shakes or cupping. Megan is going to try somatic shakes, and Corey is going to try breath scaling or other forms of breath work. Okay. I will expect you all to report back to me, let's say 2 weeks from now, with how your new tactic went. Okay. All right, ladies, enjoy your night. Talk soon.
Bye.
Thanks, Jackie.
Yes, of course.